And
But that all gets back to reprogramming your self-talk.
right. Definitely. I mean, what's going on in your head when you're thinking about all these things in your life? You know, when you're thinking about an encounter you just had with a coworker, or you're thinking about you overheard somebody say that they didn't think you heard,
And you get all that mental chatter going on, all the voices in your head talking back to you.
and they're usually not praise. It's usually negative things going on.
Well, again, that's the way we are about ourselves, though. We're worse on ourselves than anybody else could ever be.
Yeah, the ego wants to come through and remind you that, oh boy, you messed up again, and then you start replaying things and pointing out all the things that are wrong with you. So it's really important to monitor what the self-talk that goes on in your head. Because if think about how easy it is to say something negative. What if you can just dismiss that negative thought and turn it around to something positive when that happens? And you know, after a while, it becomes as easy to put positive thoughts in your head as it is to put negative thoughts in your head, but it does take some training.
Because, as you said, we are all programmed negatively
Yeah.
when we're growing up, and that's the direction that we go.
Yeah, it seems that it's so easy to put yourself down, but it's harder to praise yourself.
It is. But the thing is, as we mentioned before, just learn from your mistakes and turn those mistakes into a positive and take it from there and just continue on the positive note.
And yeah, replaying the past is probably one of the worst things that people do. I mean, there's so many mental disorders that surround, so many anxiety and mental disorders surrounding replaying the past.
Yeah, you need to stay present. What they mean by staying present is think about the now, not the past. You gotta remember, the past is just that. It is the past. There's nothing that can be done about it. Done's done. But you can stay present and focused and work with what you have in front of you and make sure it's done in a positive manner.
And it's hard to stop the self-talk and the thinking about the past, because it's like we build memories of our experiences, but we don't think of the memories that are to come in our future. So we're always thinking about the ones that we've already experienced. To be in the now means that you're thinking about this moment right now. How can I create the best memory possible with this moment, instead of thinking about what happened before? So as you learn to train your mind to stop thinking about the past, you can bring yourself into the now and stay in the now and focus on having joy for this moment. So it kind of goes back to reevaluating what are your ideals for what you consider happiness. I mean, what does it really mean to be happy?
I think that's each individual's perspective. Happiness is, whatever makes you happy, not someone else, you. And that's where we got to go. You got to look outside yourself. Don't look outside yourself for self-worth.
Yeah, but a lot of times we do. I mean, we're such a physical, everything's physical to us. We think we have to have material things to be happy. We have to have a certain amount of money to be happy.
Have to have positive opinions of others to be happy.
Yeah, and possessions, and if we have to have so many relationships, and we have to have a certain size of family, and we set all these ideals for ourselves about what we're supposed to have and how happiness is supposed to be defined, and sometimes you don't get that package. So you got to kind of assess your happiness for the now. You don't assess your happiness from the past. Assess your happiness from where you are right now, and that kind of goes into setting realistic goals for yourself.
Yes, yes. People take it and they want to set a goal, but the problem you got with that, unless you really know how to set a goal, people plan a goal out a year in advance sometimes. That's like way overwhelming.
Or 10 years, or, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I use an analogy of take a 1,000-piece puzzle and throw it all on the floor. Well, how am I going to put that together? One piece at a time. You know, it may look like a mess, but if you do it one piece at a time, it's like taking your goal and doing it one day at a time.
One goal at a time, yeah.
Yeah, if you got to break it down by the hour of the day, you know, you're whittling away at it. Just don't look at it, oh, I want to be this in 5 years. How am I going to do that? I can't do that. That's like way overwhelming. But if you start now and do it one day, 1 week, or 1 hour,
one step
at a time, whatever the little step that might be, you'll find it a whole lot easier.
And by the time that 5-year goal is there, you may have already achieved that, or you may be close to getting that goal just by taking those little steps that you take each day to get there. So, you know, we tend to focus on the big thing, and we can't be happy until we get that big thing, but you deserve to be happy along the journey.
It's like taking a 2,000-mile trip. How are you going to get there? 1 mile at a time.
Yeah. You can choose to fly, or you can choose to drive and take the off-road paths. So,
yep.
you know, the main thing is to be happy with what's in your life now. And, you know, it's not your job to change other people's opinion of you. A lot of people think that it is, and they try really hard to be this image of perfection, to please somebody else. But sometimes it's just impossible to please somebody else. So we're always working hard for somebody else's opinion. How about if we just work hard to make a good opinion of ourselves, just to know that, you know, I did my best. I worked as hard as I could. And, you know, when that happened, I got this result. There's just a sense of peace knowing that you did do a good job and you gave it your best. And, you know, if it didn't meet somebody else's standards,
so what?
so what? It needs to meet your standard. That's what's important. And if your standard isn't that high, hey, that's okay too. You can, as you grow along your journey, you might change those standards and request a little more of yourself. So the main thing is, you know, you just accept who you are and
take it from there. I mean, you have to understand that it's all about you.
And each person is going to grow in their journey as they need to. And you need to see the splendor of yourself instead of your flaws. If you wake up in the morning and you think, what's my splendor? You know, what's wonderful about me this morning?
It ain't this face I'm looking at right now.
Well, that would be like...
Get the makeup on first. No.
But you can visualize the splendor that you might look like in an hour when you're showered and everything. So, you know, just look at yourself, try to see yourself in a different way, and to just learn to like yourself, because when you like yourself, it's going to project that to other people. And they're going to, you know, when you're projecting an energy of likability about yourself, that energy will come back to you. And you will, it just naturally happens that you start forming different relationships. You might see some of your relationships change just simply by learning how to like yourself.
So, we have other things that could be talked about, that probably should be talked about. I'll give you an idea real quick, because we're running real low on time. A vision board. Build a vision board. Put those things that you want in your life on, you know, even if the refrigerator is a vision board with the pictures held up by magnets. Or if you make you have a cork board, you put your visions on. You know, if it's there in front of you, you have an image of it. You're going to create the energy to manifest that to come before you at some point in time. But folks, seriously, we're out of time. We thank you for viewing Soul to Soul, and you can see our archives on soul2soultv.com. Cathy, anything else to say real quick?
Just learn to appreciate what you are, and you'll find that your life will change. Thanks for watching.
It will. Blessings.